Yes, log a day 804.
One of the things that has come to my attention recently that I should have known about, this is just a confessional moment, is that because I don't have a credit card on GoDaddy anymore, the business card from Where's It, when we were doing Boomerang, it became my default card, and so my domains have been renewing this last year on our business card. So I need to send Brian some money. He was just sending me an email, be like, "What is this?" It's we talked about it before, so I knew it was coming, but apparently, and maybe it happened again. I need to fix that. I own a lot of domain names from a lot of failed projects over the years, or not all of them were failed. Some of them just didn't take off, or some of them were just experiments. I like buying domain names. It's like one of the few splurges that I allow myself from time to time. Very nerdy, I know. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go write for a little bit today. It's a day of hammering away at Agnor's box. I actually last night, while lying not on the couch as it is now, but when it was folded out as a bed, I don't know, I had a good connection point of a few things that I want to pull together for the story, so I need to go write for a bit. So coffee, write, and then we might see Bethany tonight. She's passing through on her last night in Europe, I guess. She's on her way back to the States. So we might see her, and if we don't see her, then I might just stay in and be a shut-in and get more writing done. Because I really, really want to. I have other stuff I gotta do though too. Speaking of money, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pay my taxes, and that's not fun. Okay, anyway, let's move on. This one just walked by. Literally just walked by. I was like, and grabbed her. All right, I'm hungry. It's time to go find something to eat, hopefully. It is drinkable. Watermelon, lemon, and ginger. Air quality is not the best today, but maybe it's just the guys roasting chestnuts, who knows. Fashion Week's starting up next week, which is what we just walked through over in the Louvre, I'm guessing. And I'm always curious I feel like it's always Fashion Week, but I'm always curious to see what ends up happening when the Fashion Weekers are around in town. And maybe I'll be more observant this time, see what happens. Got some sweet clown action going on over here. Anywho, just making friends as you walk. Anyways, we're serving as a distraction as we go. So we're gonna try and find a spot on the river here for a minute and grab a drink and then not even move for a while from there. You made a friend. You make friends everywhere you go though, let's be honest. Holding this at a really bad angle. The thing I was going to talk about today was that I got an email recently that kind of was sad, kind of broke my heart a little bit. This guy was asking if I wanted to hang out. Said, I know it's probably not worth your time. Stop it! Ruining my life. Said, I know it's probably not worth your time. And I was like, that's not the way to phrase that. It's not that seeing people, it's not worth my time. It's very worth my time. It's that I don't have enough time.
thought I'd clarify that a little bit today, but I've been distracted both by writing and then this one. We're on our way to Shakespeare and Company now so she can get some books, and then I think I'm just gonna head home and take a nap, speaking of distractions. So what I was going to talk about a little bit, just figured I'd take a quick step outside to say this, is I do get, the issue isn't that I don't want to hang out with people. That's why I do the meetups, or I try to do the meetups every time in a while, because I've been feeling kind of dead to the world for a solid period of time here. I'm still like coming back to life slowly and surely. I do want to meet people. I like meeting people. I like meeting subscribers, patrons. Like, it's fun to if you see me on the street, please say hi. Feel free. Like, that's great. No problem there. The issue is not so much whether or not I want to meet people. It's about whether or not I have the time to. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of getting to a place, this is actually a thing where it's getting to a place where, like, between email, DMs on Instagram, which I'm way behind on DMs, there's like 40 requests in my DM inbox right now, so if you message me there, I'll try to get back to you soon. Between those two, comments, Twitter DMs, it's kind of all over the place. I think I'm getting asked to hang out like 5 to 10 times a day now, something like that, which sounds extreme, but it is kind of extreme, feels like that, probably averaging, let's say, 6. And the thing is that I only have, you know, a certain amount of time every day just to live in the first place. And while I would love to have coffee and beer with pretty much everybody that I could in the world, I wouldn't get anything done, let alone have time to sleep. And to pull from a Casey Neistat reference as well, there's actually a blog post that he referenced a year or two ago, a couple years ago, that I would love to read for you as well, because like I just want to try to communicate the fact that it's not that I don't want to be social, it's not that I don't want to see or meet people, and I just feel an increasing pressure that nobody's intending, no individual person is intending, but with the sheer volume of requests for my time, I kind of feel like I need to address, at least for me personally, so that you know, hopefully, ideally, that it's not you, it's me. Hopefully you can get that sense. Good to see Bethany before she leaves, which is like tomorrow morning. See her again in a few months, I'm sure. The main reason that I struggle with actually doing these kinds of videos though specifically is because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm picking on them for having reached out to me. Like, I don't want anyone to ever feel bad for reaching out. Well within your rights to reach out. I encourage it. I love it. Love to hear from you. That's not a problem at all. The only issue that I'm having is internal. It's with me. It's that I wish that I had time to respond to everybody in depth. I wish that I could read every comment and give like really well thought out responses to everything. I wish that I could respond to every email with the same level of depth, every DM on Instagram, everything. I just don't have the time. And so then I started to feel bad about it. And so I'm kind of talking about this more for myself, but also just to kind of set that expectation of like, please feel free to reach out. I read almost everything that comes across my desk, but I'm also I'm very, very limited on the time that I do have. I'll read that blog post here in a second. I'll head home and we'll look it up on the computer.
I let this charge for a minute because it was dying. Somebody puked on the bus, like they puked on the seat right in front of me on the bus. That was a fun experience. I love buses so much. Not my favorite form of transportation. One of the reason that I struggle, I never wanted to make a video like this is because there are a number of videos that I've thought about making in the past about interactions, about comments, about that kind of stuff. But the reality is that the people that need to hear that, like that cross lines, that get like weird or racist or ridiculous, whatever, aren't gonna listen anyways. Like those people aren't gonna listen anyways. And the only people that are gonna hear that message, there's a chance that there are a number of you who are listening to me right now who are like, oh man, I hope I didn't do or say anything weird or horrible or awkward. I should never talk to Jay again. And that is a good sign that you're probably actually not who I'm talking to right now, because you're like actually self-aware and conscious. So this is a lose-lose situation if I ever directly approach any specific thing. But the reason that I wanted to address this right now is because in that email, when that guy said that he knew it was a waste of my time or wasn't worth my time to meet him, but he still was hoping I would meet with him. That's not true. Nobody is a waste of my time. You are not a waste of my time. As an individual, you're not a waste of my time. I wish that I could spend more time with each and every person that reached out to me, that found my videos, that wanted to grab a drink or that just wanted to chat, whatever. The challenge is that I simply don't have enough time. Like, it's a volume issue right now, which is weird considering like I only have so many subscribers, which is very flattering. And I'm very aware of like the honor that is, that there are that many people out there that would like to reach out to me and this is a new thing. Like, it's been a trickle for a long time, but recently it's definitely taken off to the point that it's very noticeable, and it's very much like, okay, what do I do with this? And for the sheer number of people out there that probably do worry that I don't know, that are self-conscious about reaching out, whatever, you're well within your rights to send me an email. You are well within your rights to leave comments, to ask me to hang out. There's nothing wrong with that. I just can't. And I was gonna read you something. And this is something that Casey read once. Here, let me plug this in for a minute and then I'll read it to you from the couch. I had to charge it for a little bit. I'm faking some sunlight with my Wi-Fi light over there. This is an old post. It's from 2009 by Paul Graham. He's a programmer. And I'm just gonna read the beginning of this. The whole thing doesn't really apply, but the beginning does as well. And I'll explain why afterwards. If you're still watching, if you haven't given up on me, please don't give up on me. I like you. I want you to stay around. I want to interact with you, but I have my limits. It's called the maker's schedule, manager's schedule. One reason that programmers dislike schedules so much is that they're on a different type of schedule from other people. Meetings cost them more. There are two types of schedule, which I'll call the manager's schedule and the maker's schedule. The manager's schedule is for bosses. It's embodied in the traditional appointment book, with each day cut into 1-hour intervals. You can block off several hours for a single task if you need to, but by default, you change what you're doing every hour. When you use time that way, it's merely a practical problem to meet with someone. Find an open slot in your schedule, book them, and you're done. Most powerful people are on the manager's schedule. It's the schedule of command. But there's another way of using time that's common among people that make things, like programmers and writers. They generally prefer to use time in units of half a day at least. You can't write or program well in units of an hour. That's barely enough time to get started. When you're operating on the maker's schedule, meetings are a disaster. A single meeting can blow a whole afternoon by breaking it into 2 pieces, each too small to do anything hard in. Plus, you have to remember to go to the meeting. That's no problem for someone on the manager's schedule. There's always something coming in the next hour. The only question is what. But when someone on the maker's schedule has a meeting, they have to think about it. For someone on the maker's schedule, having a meeting is like throwing an exception. It doesn't merely cause you to switch from one task to another, it changes the mode in which you work. I find that meetings sometimes affect a whole day. A meeting commonly blows out at least half a day by breaking up a morning or afternoon, but in addition, there's sometimes a cascading effect. If I know the afternoon is going to be broken up, I'm slightly less likely to start something ambitious in the morning. I know this may sound oversensitive, but if you're a maker, think of your own case. Don't your spirits rise at the thought of having an entire day free to work? With no appointments at all? Well, that means your spirits are correspondingly depressed when you don't. And ambitious projects are, by definition, close to the limits of your capacity. A small decrease in morale is enough to kill them off. We can stop there. It's actually a pretty long blog post that I can link below. But I imagine that makes a lot of sense. It's like today. They wanted me to bring something into the Peloton this morning, and thankfully they ended up not needing it because I sort of wasn't gonna go down anyways. I could have if I had to, but I really didn't want to. And I went to a different coffee shop where I could just sit and work without talking to anybody, without socializing with friends of mine. And Bethany just happened to walk by at the right moment. But I'd already finished for the day on the writing side of things and was looking to transition out and find lunch. So the timing was pretty perfect for that. But for me, if I'm gonna get anything done, like especially with writing, vlogging a little bit less so, but I need a big chunk to edit every evening. I need big chunks of time. And those are hard enough to come by between sleep and other kinds of work that I have to get done. Time spent traveling, and trying to maintain my own friendships and relationships along the way. Throwing in a bunch of other small meetings throughout time really does start to add up, and it becomes a little bit overwhelming. The hard thing is that I don't want that. What I really don't want to communicate through that, and what I hope you're gathering from this, is not that I don't want to meet with people. I've had so much fun meeting patrons and subscribers over the last couple of years, going to meetups, having coffee. It's been great. I've really, really enjoyed it. And everybody that I've gotten to meet, thank you so much for taking the time to meet me. That has meant a lot to me. And I generally leave those meetings, those encounters, feeling buoyed and encouraged and excited about the world. And I hope that we can continue doing that in one form or another, whether it's through meetups or, figuring something out to manage to have time to meet with people. I just have to put some sort of a cap on it for now, because I'm already really behind on a lot of the work I have to do. I'm already feeling fairly overwhelmed in those arenas. Yeah, I think it probably makes perfect sense by now. Hopefully you're tracking just fine. Once I get back on top of stuff, once I'm feeling like keyed in and ready to roll, hopefully we can start doing meetups again, and we'll figure it out from there. But I guess I'm very hesitant. I've thought about talking about this for a really long time, and I've chickened out, and I almost chickened out tonight, but I decided to just stick with it because I just want to make sure that you know that you're valuable to me, that your time is incredibly valuable to me. Just offering to spend some of your time with me like that, reaching out and saying, hey, I'm going to be on vacation gonna be on my honeymoon, I'm gonna be passing through Paris, whatever, and you wanna see me, that means a lot. It's very kind of you. It's wonderful. And I generally feel very, very, very positive about all of it. I just have a hard time, I guess I just feel bad saying no. I'm not very good at saying no a lot of the time. So I'm trying to express to you right now that when I say no, I'm saying no with like a sad smile, where I'm like, I wish I could, but I need to get back to writing my book. And that's tough for me to say. I'm sure a lot of you are like, what is wrong with you? This is perfectly normal. What are you doing? But to me, it's very hard just to say no. And especially when like, I'm sure that I'm missing out on meeting a lot of really cool people by doing so. And that sucks. But that's just kind of where I'm at right now. Hope this made sense. This ended up being a lot longer than I planned on it being. So hopefully I can trim it down. But thank you so much again for reaching out. And I'll try not to chicken out on too many other... I want to maintain like an honest dialogue in all of these things. That includes like giving you a window into the strangeness of life that is being internet recognizable, which I'm increasingly becoming over time. So I want to make sure that I don't box you out of that just because I feel weird. There's just no... We'll talk more about all of that in the future, hopefully, I'm sure. Hope you had a great day today, wherever it is you were, and that you have an even better tomorrow. And I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for a very last minute trip somewhere. You'll find out tomorrow. I'll just wait. I don't want to spoil it. You can find out tomorrow. I'll see you there.